You know you're supposed to work on the business, not just in the business. So why aren't you? It's so much easier said than done. Hustle culture is everywhere. We are encouraged with every social media post to be working harder, working longer, making sure that you're the one who's putting in the 12-hour days. But that is not the way to get to a successful business. In fact, that is a very fast road to burnout. I see so many entrepreneurs who are fixing the broken links on their website and sending out the invoices and creating the social media. And at first, there's sort of a pride in like, I can do all of that. And I remember those days. But very quickly, and especially if you have children, you realize there's only one of you and it's just not sustainable. So, how do you build a scalable, profitable business and ditch hustle culture so that you can build something that you love with team members and systems and processes? Today, I'm going to teach you three things, and maybe you're already doing these three, or maybe there's one you haven't adopted yet. So let's get into it. The first one is to get better at delegating. If you're a woman entrepreneur, you know how hard it can be to just let go. There is a built-in paradox of entrepreneurship that usually you became an entrepreneur because you're really good at doing something. But then to scale the business, you have to start letting other people help you. And that can be really hard. What if they don't do it as well as I do it? What if they screw it up? What if we send something out with my name on it that's not perfect? These are things that you have to build the muscle of delegating to get over. So we always teach start small, maybe delegate something that you really don't like doing in your business. Those are usually the first things that people like to delegate. I see people delegate bookkeeping, social media producing, at least coming up with the content or actually doing the posting. It's very time consuming. It could also be writing emails. Maybe you want help with a copywriter who's going to write 10 emails for you when you're launching a new program or product or trying to just get attention for something in your business. Think about what you could delegate right now that you don't like doing and that someone else could probably do better because they actually like it. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, where am I going to come up with the money for that? I'm a solopreneur. I have to do everything. That kind of thinking will really keep you small. I'll tell you the story of a woman who just graduated our accelerator program. She took Accelerator Express and she came in with a very popular spa in upstate New York. She's on her way to $500,000 in revenues and doesn't really have much of a team. She's got massage therapists coming in. People love this spa. She said they're kind of the best kept secret of upstate New York. But we challenged her to think about, well, how could you be not the best kept secret so that you get more clients and can grow the business even faster? And by doing some of the tools that we shared with her, like delegate your way to the top, where you figure out how am I spending every single day? And what of these things could I be outsourcing or automating or delegating? She figured out she didn't need to be doing some of the things she was doing every day, such as social media and bookkeeping. So now she's hired her first part-time bookkeeper and her first part-time social media manager. And she said life looks very different. She's on her way to filling up all those rooms in her spa and doubling her revenues this year. We love seeing when women are able to let go and delegate like that. So if that resonates at all, maybe this is the first thing you should start with, is figuring out how to delegate. Nobody ever built $1 million business alone, and usually not a $500,000 business either. So that could be what's keeping you stuck. The second thing you can do to get out of hustle culture is to create SOPs for your business. SOP just means standard operating procedure. And you can just start that today, open up a Google Doc, and write up the process by which you do each of the most critical tasks in your business. For instance, how do you interact with clients when you're onboarding them? Or how do you do your social media marketing and all your email marketing? What do you do when you go to a conference? Do you print out business cards? Do you do everything digitally? How are you using AI right now for your marketing? All of these things can go in SOPs so that, one, you can sleep better at night, knowing that if you go on vacation for 2 weeks, when you come back, you'll have a guide to follow so that you can do things the same way you've always done them. It also allows you to figure out how you could hire someone, because once you write up those SOPs, you'll quickly realize that there are parts of what you're doing that really don't have to be you. In my case, when I launched $1 Million Women, we started these coaching programs online, and I realized that I didn't have to be the one sending out all the follow-up emails, onboarding people. I wrote up an SOP of how to onboard a new person who signed up for one of our programs. And then it was very early days, maybe like 8 years ago in Million Dollar Women. We're almost celebrating 10 years. And I remember I hired a virtual assistant. And I just said, every time I sign someone up, I'm going to send you an email that says sign up and then follow all these steps. We never had anything fall through the cracks. No one knew it wasn't me creating all those emails. And it allowed us to scale so much faster. We've now graduated thousands of women from our program, and it's because we do all these things I'm teaching you right now, delegating, SOPs, and now we're going to move on to the third one, which is cross-training. So if you are working with a virtual assistant, an assistant, maybe a few full-time people, make sure that you do some cross-training on your team. While it might feel like it's a waste of time because you're like, well, my social media person knows how to do that. Why do I also have to train my COO? Somebody's going to be out. Someone's going to be on vacation. Also, the person who does the cross-training will often have suggestions about how to do the other job a little bit better or more efficiently. Everyone brings different skills to the table. Plus, I'm sure you've seen in your own life that once you start doing something one way, like the way you make dinner or the way you work out, right? I do the same, go to the gym, go running. It's very hard to change up that routine. But if I were to have a trainer come in, they might suggest all kinds of different things I can do. That's the same thing with cross-training on your team. If you ask one person to look at how someone else is doing it, they may come up with a whole new, more efficient way to tackle that task. All right, so let's review. You're going to focus on delegating, and if you need some help with that, you can always DM me and ask for our Delegate Your Way to the Top tool. Just find me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Then you're going to create SOPs, or actually do that in the opposite order, because if you create SOPs, you'll figure out, oh, this is what I can delegate. And make sure your team is using those SOPs and keeping them alive, checking back with them, updating them, and using them every day. And the third thing is to have the team cross-train, just so you're never stuck with something not able to get done, and so you can benefit from the wisdom of everyone on your team about how to do things most efficiently. All right, I hope that will help you get out of hustle and into scaling. And if you want some help with that, we have a program starting really soon. I'll put up the banner. Just go to millionwomen.com and you'll find out more about Accelerator Express. This is our 6-week scaling program where you get private coaching, you get a group of amazing women who you go through the program with, and everyone's trying to figure out how to scale up, how to stop being so much caught up in the hustle culture, and have a business that is profitable, scalable, sometimes fundable, and that they love. If that appeals to you, reach out, set up a call, and we'll see if it's a fit. In the meantime, I will see you back here. Stay brave and go big.